Our second category of questions concern law enforcement and court security. Mr. Franklin will address the first question to Sergeant Summerall.
Sergeant Summerall, in your own words, what makes the role of a sheriff different from that of a police chief?
A sheriff is elected by the people, and here in Virginia we have a rich tradition. We were the first state in the Union to have a sheriff back when we were a colony. We have it enshrined in our Constitution. Police departments, state police, you can get rid of those, but you can't get rid of the sheriff's office, the office of the sheriff. So police chiefs are more beholden to the city manager, to the city council. Police forces, and I can say this because I've been a police officer for more than 26 years. Our job is to enforce the laws that folks vote on up in Richmond or your local municipality. We don't have the time and the manpower to go out and do what I believe a sheriff's office is for. Sheriff's office is there to go out and interact with the community, to use your constitutional office to make a big difference. You don't really have to answer to the city council per se. You do have to try to work with them. You do get funding from them, but you don't have to do everything that they wish you to do. You're not at their bidding. So you have quite a bit more latitude than a chief of police. So a chief of police is a at-will employee. They can be terminated and I saw it in Portsmouth. I went through 12 chiefs in my time there. If they did something that a city manager didn't like, they were gone. And that's not even counting the interim chiefs we would have to come in. Corvello came twice, Mook came. So we had quite a bit of turnover. So that's the difference. While I was there, we only had 3 sheriffs. But we had 12 chiefs and a bunch of interims. So they couldn't fire the sheriff no matter how much Bill Watson aggravated them or Waters. They kept on doing what they had to do and taking care of the citizens and answering to the people that voted them in, because a sheriff works for the people. A chief of police works for the city management. Thank you.
And Sergeant Boubacar?
Yes, the sheriff's office, obviously you've been elected, so your boss are the people, all right? The police chief, he works for the city manager. So as a sheriff, you got a lot of latitude, a lot of stuff that you can do. But I do believe that the sheriffs can be a big asset for the police department if they can work together. For example, in Norfolk, the current sheriff was a police officer. He was a police lieutenant that ended up taking over. And I can see a lot of program that he's doing. We were able to work together. He's helping us because we are undermen like everybody else. And we were able to get help from the sheriff's office, helping us working for sure some of our area. And also when it comes to outreach for the kids, we got a lot of rec center where we just cannot mend them. And Sheriff Barron is helping us. So I do believe that as a sheriff, people are your boss. They're the one that elect you. And if you use your office right, you can make more impact than the chief can, right? Community outreach. Here, as a sheriff, I do believe that if you want to be very effective, because for me, everything, whatever you do, it has to have some type of impact, positive impact on the community. So the sheriff, I think, should work with the police, can work. As a sheriff, I work with the chief of police here, figure out also ways where I can help them. That's what I can do. But as a sheriff, you got a lot of power.
And Sheriff Miles?
This coming January, I will have been in the sheriff's office for 20 years of my life. And I know nothing other than working for a sheriff's office from Virginia Beach to Suffolk. And some of the things that I've learned is the dynamic between the police department, city leadership, and the sheriff's office. Here in the city of Suffolk, the police department has 217 positions. I have 30. The police department asked for 17 positions last year. I asked for 3. The police department received 7. I received 2. The difference between me and the police department is true. I don't answer to the city leadership. However, if I don't play nice in the sandbox, I don't get the funding I need. The sheriff's office is the size it is, not because of a lack of effort. If the city locally doesn't fund it, because the state doesn't pay for extra positions, there are no surplus positions in the sheriff's office. And I was looking to get this SROs, or SRDs rather, school resource deputies, because I knew that would be an avenue to be able to increase the amount of staff at the sheriff's office. So I answer the voters every 4 years. I've answered the voters here since last July. The police department and I have a great working relationship between the city manager, the mayor, the police chief, and myself. And that's why I'm working to create an MOU so that there can be more cohesion between the two agencies. But the biggest difference is the police department gets more funding than I do because they do answer the city leadership. I don't get as much because I don't answer the city leadership. So the only way to do that is, as we have done, because we've grown more in the past 4 years than we have the previous 46 years of this city, is because of the importance of the relationship. But the reason why I can grow now is because I've not only invested in this city and invested in this agency, I've invested in the relationships it takes to be able to get more from the city.